Okay, we're doing step 1B for writing a method section, how to write up the different measures in a section. Um, so a key thing is to use parallel structure. So for each measure that you describe, don't get super creative. Use a similar organization. And this outline generally corresponds with what we do. So name of the measure, the construct, number of items, describing the structure of the scale, the rating scale, and then going over evidence reliability, such as the alpha, um, as well as temporal stability, and also evidence of construct validity. In other words, what evidence is there that the measure is related to things it should be theoretically and unrelated or um, moderately related to things that it shouldn't be. Um, and then typically some statement about scoring um, and ending with the Cronbach's alpha for the current measure. So talks about ways of writing a measurement section. You could go back and look at the original scale development paper. Oftentimes, um, you can actually find other articles that have written up the scale or find information about a scale, including items in like a dissertation. Um, there are a few ways to get that information. Um, in terms of analyses, the main thing Josh goes over is how to calculate an alpha. So I can give you an example of that. So I happen to know this RCI-10 is a religiosity measure. So let's calculate the alpha for that. Scale, reliability, and then I like to pull that information. We'll paste. Um, ran it, so alpha is 0.95. We've got our mean standard deviation and n. And then you can also check this to make sure there aren't any negative loadings, which would indicate a problem with reverse coding, or the item total correlation. If one of these was really low or negative, it might indicate a problem with reverse coding. So Josh kind of goes through the similar output for the scale that he's looking at. And then we have several examples. So you'll see here, they completed, you give the scale name, and then what the construct's meant to measure, how many items are on the scale, kind of describes some of the instructions, and then how it was used in the current study. Finally, the rating scale. Then he describes how many different subscales there are and gives an example of each. And then he reports evidence of reliability and construct validity in the prior sample, and how it was scored, and then current study alpha. If I was looking at this particular example, there's plenty of detail in kind of describing how the scale was used. We're a little light on the description of evidence of reliability and construct validity.